Hello and welcome. If you're watching this, you're probably looking for a single head embroidery machine for commercial use. In this video, we're going to compare the top 4 most searched embroidery machine brands in 2017 in this category of commercial grade machines. These are Tajima, SWF, Happy, and Ricoma. So before we go through each feature and weigh out the pros and the cons, let's take a look at what you should really look for in a commercial embroidery machine package to really get the most value from your purchase. Embroidery area. This refers to the sewing field of the machine. You need to make sure it's large enough to cover a wide variety of projects because your customers will probably be asking for different projects. So you have to make sure you definitely have the room to sew different sized garments. Financing. This isn't necessarily a machine specification, but it's more of an option you need to make sure the company itself offers. When you're making a purchase in the thousands, you're definitely going to rather pay your machine little by little at an affordable cost. Financing will be the best for your business to eliminate any upfront costs and start operating at a profit from the very beginning. Attachments. This refers to the package as a whole. You should be paying attention to how many hoops the machine or package includes, whether or not it brings a cap attachment at no additional cost, if it brings cap hoops, software, supplies, and more. It is really important to be asking these questions because you definitely don't want to get stuck paying extra for attachments, so be sure the package is all inclusive to get the most value. Alright, so now that we know the important features your embroidery machine must have, let's take a look at specs. Let's start with cost because that's probably what you're most interested in hearing about. So as you can see, the Tajima is the most expensive, and the Happy and the SWF are about the same. All very good brands, but depending on your dealer, they would charge extra for attachments. Also keep in mind, this is MSRP that we're showing here, so really the price will vary. This is just the most accurate representation we can get. Next, let's take a look at needles. The number of needles is important because the more needles it has, the more efficient the machine is because you won't have to be switching the needle every time you have to switch thread colors. These are all the same across the board with pretty much any single head commercial machine. Now let's look at digitizing software. Most brands would include some digitizing software with the purchase, usually a light version where you can edit some already digitized designs. If you're doing this for business, chances are you probably won't be needing to do full digitizing. Just minimal editing, which you can definitely achieve with the light version. Through our experience working with embroidery business, we've learned that about 80% of people outsource their digitizing because you can get a digitized design anywhere from $5 to $10. Digitizing your own design usually takes hours to do on your own, so it probably won't make as much sense for the growth and efficiency of your business. Now let's take a look at the amount of embroidery designs the package includes. You'll definitely need a nice variety of already digitized designs to get you started. Here we see Ricoma leads this category with 20,000 digitized designs. So that definitely gives you a wide selection to choose from there. And with the digitizing software, you can add lettering and do some editing to do these already digitized designs. Let's move on to the workstand. Most embroidery machine companies provide a workstand with wheels in order to easily move your machine around and to have a nice sturdy, flat surface to place the machine on. Ricoma includes this workstand in the price, and others have a workstand as well, but you'll have to pay extra for it depending on what distributor you are purchasing from. Moving on to the cap attachment. If you're thinking of embroidering caps, you'll definitely want a cap attachment. This is included with SWF, Happy, and Ricoma embroidery machines. The others will charge extra, but they do have an equally wide cap frame. You may have to pay additional for this attachment if you go with Tajima. Of course, not everyone is going to embroider caps, so you might not need to account for that cost. It's just something to keep in mind. Now let's take a look at speed. Speed is important because it will help determine how fast you can complete a project. The standard speed for a single head commercial embroidery machine is 1,200 stitches per minute. Moving on to memory size. This is a pretty important feature because it determines how many designs your machine can hold in its internal memory. It's necessary for it to have plenty of space because you probably don't want to be going back and forth deleting designs and re-uploading designs to your embroidery machine memory, especially when you're trying to efficiently run your business. Say you have a repeat client, you're definitely going to want to keep their logo in your machine's memory. Ricoma leads this category with 20 million stitches, while the others follow with 2 million stitches. Now let's take a look at maximum embroidery area. This feature refers to the actual size of the design you can embroider. These are all pretty large embroidery areas with ample space. Here, the Ricoma and Happy are leading the pack. Ricoma with a 22 by 14 inch sewing area and Happy with a 20.5 by 15.7 sewing area. Next, let's take a look at how many flat hoops are included. This is the actual frame your design will be embroidered within. For those of you who aren't familiar with machine embroidery, you need these to stabilize your garment and prepare for machine embroidery. Mostly every embroidery machine supplier will provide some amount of flat hoops. Ricoma provides 11, Tajima provides 10, and the other two tie at 8 hoops. What's not the same across the board, however, is whether or not the machine includes cap hoops. This is mostly because you have to pay for a cap attachment with some suppliers. So of course they won't give you a cap hoop before you even have a cap attachment. All of these provide 2 cap hoops when you purchase the cap attachment. Again, some include the cap attachment in the price and others don't. Next, let's talk about training. All of these companies provide training on the single head. Every Ricoma customer receives free training with the purchase of the machine. As for the other companies, whether or not it's included in the price depends on the distributor and the quote you're given. Alright, now let's move on to the control panel. The size of the panel is more of a cosmetic feature, but it's also very important if you want something clean and easy to see and operate. Both the Ricoma and Happy have 7-inch touchscreen. The other two come in next at about 6.5, which isn't much of a difference. Alright, now let's talk warranty. This is pretty standard across the board. Each warranty is up to 5 years, except for the Tajima, which has a 2-year warranty. As far as parts and labor, it varies a bit by brand, but it's usually somewhere from 1 to 2 years. For electronic parts, it's about 2 to 3 years, and for drivetrain components, it's about 5 years. For Ricoma, the warranty is 1 year for parts and labor, 3 years for electronic parts, and 5 years for drivetrain components. And last, we'll look at financing, which we talked about briefly already. Of course, everybody knows financing makes sense when you're making a purchase that's thousands of dollars. And if it can be at 0%, then that's even better because it eliminates both upfront costs and crazy interest rates, which allows you to start making profit a lot easier as soon as you get the machine. What we're seeing here in this category is that Ricoma is the only company from the list that offers 0% financing at this time. So that's definitely something to keep in mind if you'd rather spread out your payments. Last, I would like to thank everyone for watching. We hope you found this informative. I know we may have both advanced embroiderers and beginners watching, but we like to include what each feature means in case you're new to embroidery and need some perspectives on why certain features are important. Keep in mind, we only compare the brands that are being searched for the most often. Of course, there are many other brands you can look at, but the actual embroidery features are pretty much the same across the board. It's more of a matter of what you get as a customer or what you get within the starter package, which is what we've aimed for at Ricoma. So that's why you can clearly see that there are many perks and attachments that we offer on this particular list. If you're interested in learning more about the TC or any other Ricoma machine, you can see our machines in action during a live virtual demo. All you have to do is fill out the form at the end of the video, and you'll just schedule a time and date that works for you. An embroidery specialist will call you through webcam or FaceTime and show you exactly how our machines work and answer any follow-up questions you may have. Again, thanks for watching and good luck on your search.